First up is a pair of stained and varnished hardwood stem candlesticks dating from the early part of the 20th century. They have plated white metal sconces and nozzles and are most likely from around the 1920s or 30s, judging by the design and the original cork bases. I'm calling these candlesticks white metal as I really don't know what the alloy is without carrying out a chemical analysis, and given their resale value, that's definitely not worth my time or expense. I've seen them advertised for sale online, described as everything from antique, Edwardian, through to Art Deco, so it doesn't look like there's a definitive attribution out there, which means as a dealer I have to estimate their age and origin to the best of my ability, based on previous examples I've sold. The most important thing to emphasise is that I won't be making any false claims about these candlesticks by overstating their age or value. I only paid a couple of quid for them as part of a job lot at auction, and I value them around the £25 mark, including shipping to the UK mainland only. On the subject of shipping, the prices of all my antiques on the website include shipping to the UK mainland. Unfortunately, I don't, under normal circumstances, ship abroad due to the ridiculous postage charges, import duties, and the risk of the item getting lost or damaged in transit. So sorry about that to all my international viewers. However, one way round that problem is if you have a UK contact I can ship the item to. Obviously, it would then be up to your contact once they receive the item to take full responsibility for it and ship it on to you wherever you are in the world. So I am happy to do that. It's the best I can do at the moment given the circumstances, but I will let you know if my policy changes. I hope that helps. Next, we have a bit of a cheap but crazy purchase I might be stuck with forever, or in other words, end up keeping myself. So what is it? It's a vintage artist's brush tube made of tin with a screw cap, but it may not have started out life as that. It could well have an industrial heritage and has just been adapted for use as a brush holder by an inventive artist. Either way, it's a lovely tactile container and is perfect for your brushes. There are remnants of a label on the tube, but I can't make it out, so I think its origins will unfortunately remain a mystery for now. However, if you do recognise the label and can identify it, let me know in the comments below what it is, and I'd appreciate that. Thank you. So why did I buy it? To be honest, purely because it's made of metal, it's rusty, and is a bit of a survivor. So you know me, I just couldn't resist it. I really love the distressed patina, which speaks to me of years of dedicated use and makes me wonder who the artist was and what happened to their paintings. We'll never know the answer to that question, will we? Which to me adds to its mystique and aesthetic value. I paid a fiver for it at an antiques fair and would hope to double my money on my market stall, although I'm not holding my breath. To be honest, I think you can call it an impulse buy. Now, this next item is intriguing to me, to say the least. It's a vintage or possibly antique octagonal shaped, which means 8-sided, hand-painted wooden planter, most likely made of pine. I've also seen them described as waste paper baskets or coal receivers, so you could say it's multifunctional, which can add to its value as a practical and functional piece of household furniture. As an aside, I've had people say to me it's bargeware, in other words, made and painted on the canals by a bargee, or someone who lives and works on the canals in the UK, but I don't necessarily agree with that. Bargeware, for me anyway, has a definitive style that has a quintessentially British look to it. My gut reaction is the style of painting on this planter or basket has a definitive European style to its appearance. Let me know what you think in the comments below. Now, I've seen these listed for sale for as much as £200 or more, but to be honest, I think that's cloud cuckoo land and they're just fishing for buyers with money. And by that, I mean they're casting the net out there to see what, or more to the point, who they can haul in for the biggest price they can achieve. But having said that, good luck to them if they achieve it. I suppose it's all down to supply and demand. And at the end of the day, there's a buyer out there at the end of the rainbow for everything. You just have to find them. In terms of its provenance, the only information I can find is that it may come from the Alsatian region of France. There are similar examples out there with almost identical hand-painted floral decoration, so it's definitely a possibility that it could be French. I paid around a tenner for it at auction, and I would hope to sell it on my Antique Central website for around £60 to £85, including shipping. However, we have to accept we're in a depressed market at the moment, so I may not achieve that price straight away. Or I could get an offer come in, which can be made through the contact form on the website. I'll leave that thought with you. Right, we're just over halfway through now, so I thought if you're still watching, you could do me a quick favour. On the community tab of the Antique Central YouTube channel, I've asked everybody how they go about researching their antiques and vintage knowledge. And there's 4 options that include YouTube channels, learning by experience, website blogs, or textbooks. Even though I've got well over 1,000 subscribers now, I've only had about 4 responses to it. So it will be of interest to me because I'm looking at the website and I want to know how effective, if at all, the Knowledge Bank page is, which contains a lot of information, plus the blog page as well. So if you could do me a favour, at the end of the video, nip over to the community channel and answer the image poll. That'd be really, really helpful. Thanks very much. Our next item is a little bit more conventional, but nonetheless interesting. It's a set of vintage apothecary or jeweller's balance scales. What appealed to me when I bought this item at auction for around a £5 was the fact it had its full set of brass weights. More often than not, these tiny weights are missing, so it's rare to find a complete set. The hardware is solid brass and it stands on a turned hardwood base. It's got an attractive patina and it doesn't look like it's ever been polished, which, as you know, I prefer. And if you're not familiar with the term patina or patination, it's simply the reaction of the surface of the metal to the oxygen in the atmosphere all around us. In this example, the scales have developed a lovely golden antique patina with no evidence of previous polishing, which to some people, including me, adds value. When they were in use, these scales were everyday essential tools for jewellers or possibly chemists. They weighed powders and ingredients, or precious metals and gemstones with precise accuracy, ensuring the integrity of their experiments if they were chemists, or the products they were buying and selling if they were jewellers. I paid around £7 or £8 plus fees for these scales at auction, and would hope to sell them on for around £25 to £30, including shipping to the UK mainland. Finally, for part 1 anyway, we have a small but heavy item I'm always happy to pick up. It's a vintage cast iron pig doorstop. Now, I bought this little piggy for a couple of pounds plus fees at auction, because who doesn't love a cute little porker? I find that pigs of any description, as a rule, are desirable and highly collectible, so I always pick them up if I can get them for the right price. As I've already said, it's a heavy cast iron doorstop with a well-used rusty patina, which in my opinion adds to its overall attraction and value. Because of that, I wouldn't restore it by overpainting it, but I would clean it and give it a wax polish to bring out the colours and protect the metal from further deterioration. If I'm waxing metal, by the way, I always use a black wax, as I find the clear waxes leave a smear or residue on the surface of the metal, which in my opinion looks really bad. So as I said, personally, I always use black wax to polish metal, as in my opinion, you get a better finish. Realistically, I don't think I would get much more than around £10 to £15 on my flea market stall for this cast iron pig doorstop. But it is what it is, and at the end of the day, it's a profit in my back pocket. If you're a regular viewer, you know it won't go on the website as it falls below the £20 threshold I've set myself, but it's fine for the flea market. If you enjoyed this video, please consider subscribing to support the channel, and if you do subscribe, let me know where in the world you are from, and I'll add you to the subscriber list you can see scrolling up the screen as I speak. Right, that's it. As ever, take care, and I'll see you next time. Bye for now.